like to say that for the last 15 years, the Israeli government stopped subsidizing those settlements, or that type of settlement, which is the kibbutz. Of course, there's other types of settlements. There is Mushav, there's Mushav Shitufi, and these are different.
Play.
Well, not a text, but on my app.
We're heading out to our boat to go on a ride on the Sea of Galilee.
The Golan Heights go all the way to the southern end, and then they kind of changed their name, Gilead Mountains. I talked about.
See, and right when he's doing that, the guy takes the coffee pot and he fills it up with water for the coffee. And I said, I'm waiting for the next batch. And they're picking little twigs off the bushes to clean their teeth. And they're yelling back and forth in Hebrew to each other. And all of a sudden it struck me. I'm out here in a fishing boat with Peter, Andrew, James, and John. They were already covered with sweat. They were all brown. They were rough, muscular men, perspiring and working already. And I said, this is Peter, Andrew, James, and John. Jesus didn't go to Jerusalem to choose the doctors of the law. He picked the rugged fishermen, these guys that worked all night long, 18-hour days working out at night.
We just came up these steps and through this door into this beautiful church in Capernaum, and Mass is just beginning. This is where Peter lived, or his house. Jesus lived here for 3 years during his ministry, right down there where Jesus lived. And here's our right out this window is the village. 5,000 people lived here in Capernaum, and there is the synagogue where Jesus taught that we must eat his flesh and drink my blood. Right there. We call it the cookie Christ. We worship the risen Christ. The Catholics worship a cookie Christ. If it is only bread and grape juice, then we Catholics are guilty of stupidity and idolatry, let's face it. If, however, on the other end of the scale, and there's not a lot of wiggle room in between, if on the other end of the scale it is the body and blood of Jesus, which he gave us, and we don't partake of it, or we ignore it, or we, worse yet, make fun of it, we're in big, big trouble at the end of time at the judgment. I knew I had one of these two choices to make, and I had to choose wisely. I want to go through the Gospels and just talk a little bit about how I came to conclude that. Now, normally when I give these talks, they're an hour and 15 minutes long, and I go through the whole Old Testament and show all the things in the Old Testament that prepare us for the Eucharist, like the manna, the Passover lamb, the prophecies about it, and I don't have time to do that now. I just want to touch on the Gospels. We'll start with Matthew, Mark, and Luke, where they all tell basically the same story of the institution. For those who are afraid to come to the Holy Land, look at the parking lot here in Capernaum. Look at all the buses. Now granted, there's not as many buses as there are sometimes, and I have to say that there aren't any American buses here, but look at all the people here enjoying the Holy Land without any fear or trouble. And this is our group, and we're ready to go. There's our bus parking here at the restaurant. Just dropped us off at the Tangerine restaurant. Tangerine is a beautiful city in Lebanon. And now everybody's arrived for lunch. Another nice lunch. That's all of them over there. We have 2 whole tables just to ourselves. And everybody's settling in. And there's Pat Rainey there.
Oh, okay. Good afternoon.
And Laura's getting everyone situated. We always ask our folks if they want to have the fish the way Jesus ate it, with the head and tail on and the eyes looking up at them. And some say yes and some say no. They want the head cut off. These are some of the salads that are on the table before we arrive, and here's the fish. It's a 2.5-hour drive from Galilee to Jerusalem, so we stop midway for a break and toilets and a time to rest and stretch our legs. Everybody always enjoys the spot along the freeway. One of the favorites, of course, is the iced coffee, which is very good on a warm day.
Hi, we just want to say hi to Teresa and Ross and Tommy and Sarah and
Daniel, Bobby,
and most especially Noah, our grandson. Hey Noah, we're on our way up to Jerusalem, and we'll be seeing you soon.
miss you all. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
On the drive south to Jerusalem, I gave the 1-hour version of my conversion story.
Would be actually the last wall that was built around the city Jerusalem, and this was not built recently. This was built in 1581.
We are now approaching the holy city of Jerusalem.
1581. It was built by a Turkish governor. His name is Solomon.
With being there, and I know you will too.
Come to the Church of the Nativity, and we will visit there. That would be a major stop. There'll be dinner in Bethlehem tomorrow. Welcome to the Notre Dame Center of Jerusalem. This is where we are coming into right now. This is a Vatican property. Since 2005, it's run by the Legionnaires of Christ. Please do not leave anything on the bus. Take everything with you.
Here's what everybody saw when they arrived. This is the lobby of the Notre Dame Center, the most in-demand hotel in Jerusalem. It's to Our Lady, Notre Dame. Like he does almost every day, Father Shane takes time with the pilgrims to do a meditation on all the places we saw today. Here they're sitting in the patio at Notre Dame, sharing a drink and discussing scriptures and all the holy sites we visited today. And while that was going on, I was up on the roof, not by intent, but by luck. And some people came up and we looked out over Jerusalem, and I explained the city to them from the top of the roof of the Notre Dame. And also we were checking out where we're going to have dinner later this evening. We are having dinner tonight at the top of the Notre Dame Center, Vatican property. See the Vatican flag flying there? And we're looking out over the city of Jerusalem, the gold dome of the rock. Right there is the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. You can't see it. The top of the Mount of Olives, the Garden of Gethsemane. And here's our group sitting down for dinner. It's a little dark for the video, but it gives you an idea. We're up on the rooftop. There's not much of a better spot in Jerusalem to have dinner than here on the roof. Look at the food that they brought out for us already. All these wonderful Greek salads and cheeses and unbelievable spread. And here's more of our group here.
You have a choice of beef fillet or salad. I'm going to ask each person.
Those are actually slightly heated peppers because I had them the first night and I don't know what it's called.
Took it. He put it in his pocket. We are at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, and he stands up, and he is, you know, it's all on his white robe. I have a nice black
Hello, Father!
Father!
They tried to clean his trees. Some people flew up in their private plane. No, I'm sorry. Everything all right, Father?
It's delicious.
Good. Your salmon all right?
Very good.
You doing all right, Albert?
Perfect.
Here's our schedule for tomorrow. Going to Bethlehem for the day. We had a great day today, and everyone enjoyed the dinner and the fellowship, and good night, Jerusalem.